I'm going to share with you a story about my second first time. And I'm going to tell you about how I met Sky. Where am I? What is this? I'm still here. I had just come spiraling down and crashed into the gymnastics floor. Like a bat out of hell, my neck came crashing in to the ground. The sound was thunderous, like crackling lightning. I had invited Sky into my life, S-C-I. He would say, I came in like a wrecking ball. He didn't even see it coming. It was a blind side, a cheap shot. When Sky came into my life, it was like he grabbed the mouse of a computer, clicked the cursor on my big toe, and drag and began to highlight, starting from my feet, and he dragged up to my legs, past my belly, all the way to my shoulders. I was highlighted, and he pushed delete. I didn't become invisible, my body was still there, but from my toes all the way up, all those inner connectings, how your body knows how to do this and how it works all together, was deleted. I remember looking down at my feet thinking, I should surely be able to wiggle my toes, but nothing. I'd look at my legs and I began to kick them like I was swimming, but nothing. No matter how hard I'd thrash like I was in a heavy current, my legs wouldn't kick. Up to my belly, I'd look down where before I could squeeze and flex and there'd be 6 little ripples going down. I'd squeeze and flex and still nothing. Up to my arms and shoulders, I'd go to raise them if I had an itch on my face, but nothing. I just had an itch. And then my hands, gone, deleted. Sky would say, it's all gone. Just give up. Everything's been lost. I deleted it. And everything was lost, except for one thing. Me. I was still here. And so it would begin to the top of the page. I'd have to start from the beginning. And it was like starting a paper from the very beginning with no direction, no hypothesis, no thesis on what might happen. So I'd have to begin that paper and over for my second first time. I did know one thing for sure, and that was I'd eventually get hungry. So I'd have to learn to eat again and feed myself. I don't remember the first time feeding myself when I reached for the Cheerio and brought it up to my mouth, or the first time I had spaghetti and made a mess all over the place. But since then, I do remember I got pretty skilled at feeding myself. I'd stack my pancakes one on top of the other and begin to cut out the center like an artisan. I get the best, buttery, most sweet bite. I could cut my steak like a butcher. And from then, so then I decided if I am to eat, I'll have to learn how to eat for a second first time. Now, I wasn't expecting mushy yams and snow peas being in a spoonful, but there was a spoonful, and I was being spoon-fed, and it was humiliating. Sky would say, it's such as life, savor it. But being told you'll never walk again was hard enough to chew. But being told you'll never be able to feed yourself, that wasn't going to happen. So I decided I would try for a second first time to feed myself. And it got messy. I did avoid the spaghetti because I had learned that, but I couldn't avoid the hot wings, the tacos. And with a fork, there was peas and there was corn, but then there was rice, and I made a mess. But I did it for a second first time, and since then, I can eat just about anything. So now I can feed myself. I can survive. I can live another day. But what would be next? What's the second first thing I'm going to have to do? The bathroom. I'll eventually have to use the restroom again. So Sky would chime in, the bathroom. Do you remember the highlight and delete? I took that from you. I had lost all function of how to use the restroom. I don't remember the first time I used the restroom, being potty trained, but I do remember catching on to that feeling when you gotta go, you gotta go. And I had trained myself to excuse myself to the bathroom, lift the lid, and use the restroom. But now, I didn't even have that feeling. I never knew when I had to go. There'd be times I'd look down and I had went. But now, I took on the restroom. And there's a way, there's an art to it, and it involves my hands, but after the restroom, soon there'd be more second first times to come. Literally everything I would do from that day on would have to take a second first time, a first attempt to do something new. I remember driving for the first time and the freedom and all that came with getting my license and being excited about 16. That was taken away by Sky as well. But now, I'm learning to drive again for my second first time. And it's in doing all these things for the second first time and getting through it, I am now able to do things for the first time, a first time, like going to college. It's now my first time experiencing something I've never done before because I did my second first times. Thank you.